tonight, more than 6 years since the devastating COVID pandemic killed more than 1 million Americans, there are questions and concerns about a new viral outbreak that started on a cruise ship and has put nearly 20 Americans in the hospital. The illness is called the hantavirus.
And even though health experts say this is not a COVID-style emergency in the making, there's a lot of misinformation about this sickness that's infecting the internet, and it's fueling overblown conspiracy theories. Our investigative reporter Chuck Gowdy has been truth squatting this new virus and joins us with late details tonight. Chuck?
Stephen, for starters, there were more than 100 million diagnosed cases of the COVID infection in the U.S., part of a global pandemic that brought entire segments of the world to a halt for a few years. So, on the face of it, this hantavirus is minuscule. But tonight, that isn't preventing a social media firestorm from rolling across websites, much of it ignited by the same bloviates who spread information and conspiracy theories during the COVID pandemic that experts say this is not. Are we on the cliff of another COVID outbreak?
No, this is definitely a very different virus than COVID. It spreads differently. It is not as efficient a virus to spread as COVID.
Katrine Wallace is an epidemiologist at University of Illinois Chicago who has studied hantavirus, a rat and mouse-based illness that turned up on this cruise ship, which set sail April 1st. At least 2 passengers, a Dutch couple, died from the hantavirus. Some of the 150 other passengers were exposed and a few got sick. Nearly 20 Americans were among those evacuated and transferred to hospitals in Omaha, Nebraska, and Atlanta Monday morning. But even as hantavirus is far less menacing than COVID and not nearly as contagious, UIC's Wallace says the voices of doom, dire falsehoods, and misinformation that germinated during COVID are sprouting again.
My personal fear level is about a 1 out of 10 for this, that anyone in the general public is going to get on these strain of hantavirus. Most cases of this are spread from rodents to people. It's very unusual and has to be under specific circumstances to spread from person to person.
So how do we get from what it is to all of the various conspiracy theories and kind of wild accusations and storylines that are now out there?
One is that health misinformation now spreads almost immediately after outbreak news breaks. So basically, misinformation no longer behaves like isolated rumors that kind of slowly gain traction. Instead, there is now more of a standing online ecosystem that's kind of ready to attach itself to any kind of health story within hours. And we did see that happen with this.
Wallace tonight says many of the people posting falsehoods are the same ones as during COVID, and so, she says, is their motivation. She says it could be political, financial, or just raw power. Sometimes all three of those are interconnecting. Stefan?
All right, trying to find the facts through there. Thank you so much, Chuck Gowdy.